As you can quite clearly see, it's relatively summery. I need a chair for, sitting outside in the sun, which people tend to do. And if you watch my movies, I don't get a lot of sun, so why not try? My aim is to make something off an Adirondack chair. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. Now, what I've got for lumber is strictly not what you want to use for furniture or anything you want to come in contact with. It's treated, but I'm not too fussed. I'm not going to sell it. To be fair, I'll barely let anyone sit in it. Just gotta score a line here and I'll soon appear. Things will happen. Yeah. This is the rough layout for the chair. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, rough. But also big. Yes. I may have made it a little bit too big. The reason there's two of them here is to wedge the back into. And it will sit at a slight angle as well. Something like this. I know it looks bad, but I'm pleased with this. Get this out of here. Just gonna clean it up a little bit with a chisel. This is my multi-purpose cherry piece, by the way. Works for everything. Let's see here then. Have I done this wrong? Hang on. Startling realization in so there's that one. Now we just need the angle. Let's see how this fits now. There we go. That's nice. Right as intended. This is a dry fit just to get everything into place. Hold, there we go, thank you. Now to determine how far in we want this seat to go. Yeah, I think that's as good a spot as any. That's a lot bigger than I was originally envisioning, but that's fine. Now I've taken this for a test set off cam, and a few modifications I think are in order. Although it's nice and big, it's a little too... First of all, the seat, at least in regards to where the seat back is right now, is too far back. So I end up looking like a toddler sitting in an oversized chair. And my knees, they will be hanging right on the edge there. which also not that comfortable. I couldn't reach the ground either, so I think I don't want to move the seat up, but at the same time I kind of do. And the angle was actually quite nice. Sort of like a lean back, real far back. That's fine. Gluing and screwing will suffice. Okay, so I have these two boards. They are the widest I have. They are now hereby earmarked for armrests. So no, future note to myself, if you touch them, I will hurt you. And that's, by the way, my best Liam Neeson impression. Going to lay out the back now. This is a final wide board I have. I'm thinking it would be kind of cool to have this in the center. These are the same thickness. That'll work fine. That's all the pieces cut. There. And now I really should make a jig. I did tell you it would be a quick jig. It's also a bit of a scrap jig. What I'm going to do is simply put the board up against here, run it down, cut it. Bob's hopefully our uncle. Even though my uncle's name isn't Bob, but that's fine.
What I apparently forgot to say in the video was that this jig was for cutting slanted edges along the boards so that they look less like planks and more like a chair back.
New day and new date. There. Now that looks a whole lot better. I'm wearing my glasses now so I won't get sawdust in my eyes. It's not working. And also the nose catcher bit is digging into my nose. Okay, well it's not digging anymore. Oh! Okay. Right. Well, I'm not wearing my glasses anymore. Obviously the first step now is to sand down the back pieces here, because they're all hideous. Some of them are treated, some of them are just nasty. So, if you'd like a sanding montage, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've put them all up, spaced them out roughly evenly here. What I'm doing right now may be a little hard to see from that angle. I can only partially apologize. I'm fastening the back piece so I can slide the rails for the back in. About even. There we go, that's the top edges profiled and whatever. So I measured the width here. It sits at astounding 76 centimeters. Now, I think it would look good with an overhang. Well, it will look good with an overhang, obviously. It sits at 76. I thought originally 2 centimeters, but that might just be a little too much. Stay. Stay. Don't just walk away. Ow. probably fine. I've sanded all of the seat bits down to up to 280. That didn't take long. Right, so that's the back sorted out, temporarily, of course. So this is how it's gonna look. I'm pleased with it. Right, with the new pieces cut, thick boys as well, we're putting the wall back in. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Did I even need to take it out at this point? I'm not too sure. Now my plan is, as you can see right now, here is the armrest. And then at the back here, oh my god, balance, there we go. On the back here I'm going to put these that I recently cut, the parallelograms. I'm going to put them backwards to make it trapezoid shape here, so that it will line up perfectly with the wall, the back, and then I'm able to run my support along here. It will sit, that's going to sit like this, so it will sit like this. There we go. Now, like that. It's going to go like this. Yes. Now I could always screw these in, but we'll see what we end up doing there. Whilst we're waiting for everything else to dry up, we might as well put the seat in. And here, quickly, simply, what I'll do, attach it on the side here. You can see this, right? Yeah. Attach it here with a clamp, and then just butt all these up against, and it should all be. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Right, I was filming a montage. Right, we're very close with the chair now. All that really remains is to drive in a couple of solid screws here and there. Got a front panel on here. And I had two minor incidents with a couple of these seat runners here. They cracked when I was putting them in. I'm not going to necessarily say it's my fault. I'm not going to say it's the wood's fault, but one of us had nuts in us, right where the other one wanted to drill a screw. Since I don't really want to make a couple of new ones, this one is one that cracked. What I'm going to do is, now it's glued and, well, set, I'm simply going to drill a hole and I'll be countersinking. Now usually I don't like being this organized. That's right, I said this organized, not disorganized. I don't mind being disorganized. But just to make sure everything lines up, I'm doing one of these at a time. Screw goes into this hole. Perfect. With that done, what's missing apart from the armrests? Not really anything. So I think we can put on the armrests, which I've already sanded. I've cut them so that they are going to overhang the front with 5 centimeters. That way I can comfortably grab on the end without touching the runner, the frame. And of course I made 2 because, 2 handles, 2 armrests. So it's going to slot in just like this, and I need my measuring tape. Measure out. Same as always, put some glue on the end grain here, or edge grain. I refer to it as both. Let that sit for a little while just to soak in, since the glue started tacking. Yeah. I think we're ready to apply the second coat here. Liberal, but not a copious amount. Spread that out. And it sits perfectly. Let's get a screw on that. Measure out 5 centimeters here. Now the very last thing here I want to do is to simply put a board, same color as this, just in front here to almost even it out along with these, and hide, of course, the pocket holes. There we go, it's basically finished. And speaking of finish, what I'm simply going to use is boiled linseed oil. It's not really going to do much. It's going to keep it for a little while at least. There we go. God, that was more painful than studying comparative literature of the ancient world. Right. I'm gonna let that sit for a bit. I'm gonna go clean this off and toss it. And then I'm gonna wipe it off.